Terrain modification reality for beginners or dummies. Okay, let's get into this. Dr. Robert Cassar, eartheracademy.com. This is another Rethinking reality. Why? Because it's a terrain modification reality. Remember, everything that we do in our world of life and outside our life is some form of terrain modification. So many years ago, probably about 14 years ago, I coined this term just because this was my philosophy, terrain modification, from a lot of different just perspectives that I not only read about, understood, maybe didn't understand, but connected the dots to be able to put together a lot of different courses and a lot of different experimental protocols, because everything's an experiment and everything's terrain modification. So let's get into this. So when you terrain modify something, in my book, it's to upgrade, enhance, and optimize, because you can do the opposite too if you want. Remember, you don't have to upgrade, enhance, and optimize. You can go ahead and do a negative response. Remember, this is a mindset. Terrain modification reality is that your body that has been gifted to you by, you can say God, you can say the Creator, the intelligent designer, whatever it is, doesn't matter. You just know that this machine has innate intelligence. If you cut it, you'll watch itself repair itself, because it's not you doing it, but it's something that's programmed in this machine to be able to repair what it takes to be able to bring it back to equilibrium, right? What a machine. So terrain modification goes basic and it goes very deep too, but let's just start out with the basic. Remember, this is terrain modification reality for beginners or for dummies or just the ignorant people that just don't know. So let's turn on to terrain modifying the body. So what is the largest organ of your body? Let's just start out with this one. And I'm sure a lot of people have been watching me for a long time. We've talked about a lot of different layers of terrain modification, but the most beginning basic layer, let's start with the largest organ of the body. Let's clean that thing up. Let's polish it. Let's make sure it can do what it's supposed to do in many ways. Okay, and what is the largest organ of the body? It's the skin. It's about 10 pounds on anybody. That's a massive organ. Massive. Compared to your kidneys, right? They're just little guys. Okay, but your skin's 10 pounds. That's a lot. So terrain modification of the skin is something that you can start right away, because you don't have to change your diet. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to drink more water. You don't have to get out of maybe electromagnetic frequencies. But what you can do is clean your skin. And then, of course, second to cleaning your skin, well, you need to then learn how to make a potion, right? To protect your skin, an oil that you'll put on, one oil that does everything. You don't need all these different oils. One's for your face, one's for your toes, the other one's for whatever it is. You have one oil that does everything, and it's not just oil. Remember, these are compounds that we've added to the oil to make it so now it's not only a medicinal oil, but it's also a protective oil. It's a nutritional oil. Okay, it's going to feed your skin what it needs to stay healthy, wealthy, happy, and wise. So anyways, you want to look into the skin cleaning protocols, and there's a lot of different ones. So just starting out, you'd look up the skin cleaning protocols, and you'd learn how to make the simple, basic vodka mineralized solution. You never want to use isopropyl alcohol. Okay, any other alcohol. I like using 6 times distilled vodka in glass, and I get that from Costco for about 14 bucks. I'll go through one of those bottles about probably once a month, And that's cleaning my skin when I need to, but at least once a week. But if I feel sweaty, or if I got anytime you get any body odor on you, then wash it off. And don't just wash it off with the shower. Remember, this is an alcohol solution. Think of it as napalm for the skin. It's like gonna burn everything that's not you in your pores, all the hair mites that are in your eyelashes. You wake up with crud in the morning and on your eyelashes, and what do you think you have? Most likely, you've got hair mites. And hair mites are little creatures. They're like little spiders, got 8 legs. Well, they're a whole organism. I'll show a picture of them here. Okay, and these are on everybody, but on some people, and this is one of the reasons being why hair mites, that a lot of people lose their bloody hairs, because these hair mites can colonize massively in the hair pores. And once they colonize in the hair pores, of course, everything that's alive, it has a evacuation system. Whatever it eats, it must evacuate, right? So it poops, it urinates, it has endogenous waste it has to get rid of. So the pores become just like when you itch your head like this, and you'll smell your fingertips and it'll smell soury or whatever it is, or you got oil, you got dandruff. Okay, remember the skin cleaning protocols. You wash every bit of your skin, between your toenails, your prostate, for the guys, your scrotum, for the girls, everything, every piece of your body, your face, your ears, okay, even in the skull. And this is to sanitize the skin. But you never use dry vodka, because that will damage the skin. It'll dry it out. We have to make it so it's got some mineralization in it and some cleaning power. That's why we use certain compounds to be able to clean the, not only skin, but clean the pores. So learn the techniques, okay, and check out what that rag looks like when your skin has been scrubbed thoroughly. And I'm not just saying rub it on easily. You got to scrub. You got to soak it in first. Okay, remember, this is gonna, it's like putting on like floor stripper, okay, to get the wax off your floor. You want to get the wax off your skin. You want to get the pores so they can breathe. You want to get the skin so it doesn't have a sheet of garbage on it, and a lot of the garbage is the parasite poop that comes out of our skin. You can see a lot of people that have stains under their arm on a white t-shirt, right? Those things are yellowy and green. This is the insides of your fluid of your body. It's supposed to be clear, okay? A lot of people have a lot of different types of parasites that live in the body, poop in the body, and cause the body to become acidic, become low oxygen, to become dysfunctional just because of the poop, okay? It's a big dysfunction. So cleaning the skin, okay, is putting you in a bracket so now you can do one of the other protocols, which is magical, which is sweating in the sauna. A lot of the protocols that we show you, remember, they're just basic protocols. And we do have a lot of protocols on how to learn how to fast, because fasting is biblical, right? And if you can't do a fast for 24 hours in a day, that means that your body is in control of your mind, and your parasites that live in your body, well, guess what? Yeah, they're telling you to eat, and really your mind should be telling yourself to drink. And see if you could do it for a 24-hour period. Anyways, that's a whole other subject, but once you clean the skin, then you must re-lubricate the skin. You don't just want to leave it dry. Remember, you just wiped off all the oil. You just clean the pores, and now you want to protect the pores so they don't get reinfected again. When I go to California, I clean my skin like 3-4 times a week, and my rag is filthy every time. I'm not rolling in the dirt. Okay, I take a shower every day, whatever, but I'll clean my skin first before I jump in the shower. And I mean, my skin is so clean when I'm done, so polished, and my rag is like a dark brown gray. And a lot of people, you'll see green if you really look at the videos. I show a lot of the patients that we had on the fasting retreats after we do one side, and you'll notice in a lot of the videos I'll show you the difference between a side that has been purged and cleansed, the surface, and the other one that you can see has a yellow green tinge to it. And you can call that parasite poop, whatever you want to call it. You can just, it's like a wax that's on the skin. You get your vitamin D, okay, from the sun. That's the major component. And you can get it from animal products, from liver, from steak. Okay, you can get it from certain fruits. Okay. Anyways, so excuse me, you're not getting them from. I was talking about vitamin C. Okay, you're getting vitamin D. Forget about anything else from the sun. So watch our videos on that, miracles of the sun. Okay, because once you clean your skin, now you can go into the sauna. Once you protect your skin, of course, now maybe your skin will start getting more youthful. Your wrinkles will start to disappear. Your little pimples that you have on your skin are gone, especially with the compounds we're going to use. And then once you learn how to successfully clean the skin, and now it's time, like I said, to be able to go into the sauna. Sauna is one of the most important things to be able to navigate and learn, is because you can purge a week's worth of toxicity sitting in the sauna for 30 minutes. And if your skin's not open because your pores are clogged with all the different lotions you've been putting on, just the crummy, crappy soap that you're using, okay? Remember, terrain modification is upgrade, enhance, and optimize. I mean, there's so many parts of it. You're going to wash your skin again and now poison it again, or pollute it again with antibacterial soap, or you're going to use some scented soap that smells like a pine forest or watermelon or pineapple or whatever the smell it is. Remember, these are estrogenic scents, and estrogenic scents do not do the body good. Any scent that is synthetic, you can just say it's estrogenic in nature, whatever it is. It's not, doesn't produce testosterone. It messes things up. So, smartest thing to do is, again, you're going back to basics on a lot of things, but also remember, it's upgrade, enhance, and optimize. That's terrain modification reality in everything you do. Exercise, terrain modification reality, upgrade, enhance, and optimize. Hey, I know, you're not even exercising. Do you stretch? Watch our videos on that. Just to be able to just get yourself to try. Remember, every day you should do at least 30 minutes of something for yourself. Remember, terrain modification goes deep. How about, when's the last time you ever soaked your hands and your feet in the vodka solution with hydrogen peroxide and other compounds to be able to not only cleanse and take off all the callus of the hands and feet, but to be able to open up the capillaries that make your blood go round and round she goes. And that's, again, you may want to watch a video that I did for the retreat on the lymphatic system. Just to be able to learn. Remember, the lymphatic system needs to be purged. It should be clean. It is where your body stores a lot of its toxicity to be able to excrete through the system, through the urination, through the respiration, but a lot through the skin. And each pore on your body, remember, is a porthole, like a porthole in a ship that can let out toxicity. And each of those pores has about 4 feet of microtubule. And if that tubule gets clogged and or full of parasites or full of chemicals, phthalates, any type of residue, petrochemical, whatever it is, then you need to remove it. And once you remove it, then keep it off. And that goes for cleaning your laundry. Remember, your skin, everything that touches your skin is absorbed by your skin, including your clothes. So learn the non-toxic laundry terrain modification instead of using toxic detergents, instead of using, and I use a ozone generator in my washer. Works excellent. Okay, excellent, to be able to go ahead and really clean the clothes without using a lot of chemicals, soaps, and garbage. Okay, you use sodium bicarbonate. But anyways, watch that video. Upgrade, enhance, and optimize. Again, have you ever cleaned your hands and feet? And that goes for your cuticles. You got toe fungus. I mean, what's the deal? Most people I see walking around here, because I can see their feet in Hawaii, everybody's wearing what they call slippers, right? We call them thongs on the mainland, or sandals, right? you can see everybody's toes and toenails filthy with black. Okay, that's black mold in there, guys. Not only dirt, and you're going to lose your toenail because black mold goes into that nail. It works its way back, and you lose your nail. And that's one of the biggest ways for your body to get sick, is to be able to have unhealthy toenails and fingernails, is because you're letting mold into your body all day long. You're polluting your body with mold, because the mold, remember, is eating you up. It's eating that tissue. This is why people lose their toes. Okay, I'm talking their toenails. Okay, I mean, I see a lot of nasty feet on young people. Dirty, the calluses are all cracked and everything. Okay, do the foot soaking protocols, and you're going to go ahead, once everything's soft, you're going to sand all that garbage off. You scrape it with your fingernails off. You see the garbage that comes off of people's feet, and then your feet feel like they're baby soft, like little babies. Yeah, now when you walk on rocks and stuff, shoot, it frickin' hurts because you don't have any calluses, because that's the way it should be. So now you're perfectly conductive to the system. You've wiped out tons. Remember, the bottom of your lake, okay, are your feet. Your body's a lake. It's 18 gallons of salt water. This is all simple stuff, but people don't think this reality. Remember, mindset, okay, of taking care of yourself is to be able to really think about a lot of things different ways. So if your body's 18 gallons of salt water, it's a big lake, it's a big balloon of water made out of about 80% water, then a lot of the heavy metals and a lot of things do get clogged in the organs, okay? Do get also, they fall to the bottom of the ocean, and that's the bottom of your feet. So a lot of people have a lot of clogged up. Your cardiovascular system is garbage because, remember, your heart, just real quick, your heart has the biggest plumbing in it coming right out of it, okay? The big aorta. The aorta goes into arteries, right? That's the next biggest set of plumbing, okay? That's a little smaller than the aorta. The next one it goes down to is arterioles. That's even smaller. And then it goes down to, you call capillaries, okay? And that's where it turns around in your hands and feet, the blood, and it comes back to your heart, okay? It goes from aorta, it goes to artery, arterioles, smaller, to capillaries, really small, that only one cell at a time, one red blood cell at a time can go through. And if those get plugged with plastic, they get plugged with all different types of chemicals, toxins, whatever it is, parasites, whatever, that's going to clog them up, like algae in a pipe, okay? Then your blood flow is diminished. Okay, so it goes from aorta, artery, arterial, capillary, comes back to the heart in the form of venules, veins, and it goes back into the heart. That's it. It's a closed system. And if that system is impeded, especially at the smallest level of it, okay, this is why you want to do your hands and feet. You may want to do that once every 2 weeks or so for a couple of months, because a lot of people have a lot of just exterior toxicity. Okay, look at your hands. They look like old people's hands, right? They're all callousy. The knuckles are all big and stuff. Once you soak, your fingers got arthritis. The knuckles are big and everything. Once you do these soaks, and we have ones that we use EDTA also to be able to remove, help support remove heavy metal toxicity. And I'm doing some other videos coming up here using other compounds to be able to remove plastics. Plastic is big in the body. It's remember, you're eating supposedly a credit card worth of plastic a week if you're drinking out of water bottles and all your containers and everything. That's just plastics in the air, microplastics in the aerosols, whatever. I mean, big, like I said, it's a big story. So this video could be hours, but I'm just going to the gym right now, and I'm going to train modifying me, and then I'm going to go. Not only I'm going to exercise. I'm going to exercise today. I do chest, shoulders, abs, and that's it, okay? And that'll take me about an hour. I'm going to train mine, then I'm going to jump in the sauna at about 170 degrees, join a gym just for the sauna, guys, just to start. If you can't go ahead and exercise, do the skin cleaning protocols, put on the protective oils, and get your butt in the sauna, okay? And then I'm going to sauna for about 20 minutes or so at about 170 degrees, or as long as I can stand it. And I'm going to bring all my water in, which I have, again, liquids of vitality. If you don't know what they are, okay, you're overweight, let's say, and, well, maybe finding a spot here. There we go. Maybe you want to take a food vacation. And I'm just talking food. I'm just talking cooked food, solid food. Remember, go on a liquids of vitality fast for a week, for 3 days, whatever. Just do it for a day and see what happens. Okay, stop eating a bunch of GMO processed, highly processed, synthetic garbage foods. Remember, you are what you eat, and if you are overweight, chubby, okay, if you're a man and your testes are, well, not the size of a medium-sized chicken egg, remember, something's wrong. You can step it up. You can upgrade, enhance, and optimize. Remember, I've been doing these protocols for a long time. I'm 64 biological age right now. And remember, experimentation means I've changed a lot of things in my sojourn. So you can train, modify your diet, but you're going to have to sort of figure out that, well, you are an omnivore, and an omnivore can eat pretty much anything. And you're going to have to figure out that all plants, all of them, have poisons inside the plants, because that's what makes the plants so they can protect themselves against fungus, parasites, mold, other critters, okay? And these are called phytoalexins. And phytoalexins are plant poisons, and they're natural in the plant. Look at cabbage has 49 types of pesticides or plant poisons that the plant produces itself to be able to make it. So that's why you could be a cabbage gardener. You could grow spinach in your garden. You can grow anything that's got a high poison level in the plant. So oxalates are a poison. Oxalic acid is a poison. Okay? Phytic acid is a poison. These are poisons of the plants. And that's just a few of them. And if you ingest a little bit of this poison, well, a little bit of poison will make you stronger. But if you ingest a lot of this poison, like I did, because I didn't know, remember, I was ignorant. I thought I knew for the time it was, but I had to go ahead and experiment on myself. And about 14 years later, my health actually was going before that, but it really went downhill on like a 13th, 14th year of plant-based. My body became totally malnourished, okay? Totally malnourished. Because once you find out that the bioavailability of plants, unless they're fermented, that's why they used to ferment the plants, and watch our videos on fermentation so you could learn how to ferment your own veggies instead of buy a little tiny thing of sauerkraut for 15 bucks. And you want to make sure that whatever you're eating, remember, if you can, is organic. And if it's not organic, just eat less. Just eat less. Remember, toxicities and everything. Let me take this thing off the rack. So toxicities and everything. That's why it's necessary to have a mindset of terrain modification. And it's just a little bit at a time. It's all it is. I mean, you can't do everything at once. Remember, changing your drinking water is very important. And if you're buying bottled water, then shame on you. I'm just saying. You're getting tiny amounts of different types of petrochemicals and plasticizers, or you can just call them plastic additives, and other compounds that are produced and or leached when the bottles are produced. And there's always, when, let's say you have a plastic bottle and it comes off the plastic maker from just a bunch of little beads of polyethylene, right? Just as plastic, PVC plastic, polyvinyl chloride. Do you think they wash those things out? No, they all have a little bit of residue from the gas. It heats it up, it makes this bottle just like this, and then it drops it down and it's ready to get filled. So you get micro amounts of estrogen mimicking chemicals, and estrogen mimicking is not good for, especially for men and or for women. Estrogen does make you fat. Yes, it does. So be careful about soy. Remember, you just terrain modified yourself, you gained 15 pounds and you wonder why? Well, you may want to look into the video I did on estrogen-fed society. Okay, look at the Rethinking Realities. There's a lot of good ones in there. And it's just my perspective at the time that I made the video, because my perspective's changing all the time. And that means I'm sort of waking up within the dream to be able to see what I'm supposed to see for what my consciousness can handle. That's what it is, too. It's what my consciousness can handle. Remember, the system doesn't care about you, and if you think it does nothing more, then, well, that's a mindset. The only one that cares about yourself is you. Because if the system cared about itself, it wouldn't sell all these sodas with phosphoric acid in them. It wouldn't sell all these. It wouldn't have Roundup being sprayed all over the bloody place, killing not only forget the plants, okay, but everything that touches the stuff, okay, including the people that swim in the rivers and swim in the oceans. That the glyphosate goes ahead, and/or atrazine, and/or any other herbicide, pesticide, insecticide, okay, fungicide. They all get into the system, into our dirt. You do have the choice. And if you are just eating fast foods or whatever, then eat way less. And if you are overweight, again, guys, you train, modify yourself. Look at yourself in the mirror and give yourself a honest opinion. You may not like yourself. Most people don't. So if you don't like yourself, then what do? You start chiseling yourself. You start changing the way you are. You can lose weight. You can lose your acne on your face. You can even grow your bloody hair back. Get rid of the hair mites. That's most of the people's problem with thin hair, even for females. And we've got some different protocols that you can experiment with that a lot of Earth Academy members have showed me their pictures of their hair growing back. Could it be possible that a lot of different diseases are caused by heavy metal toxification, poisons, malnourishment, and parasites? Just those alone. And malnourishment could be, look, I'm in the sun right now. I just cleaned my skin with the alcohol solution and put the coconut oil, iodine, pine oil. I have a combination that I use. Okay, watch our videos on how to make a coconut oil elixir. This is the only oil you use for your skin. You can use others, but this is the only one you need to. Remember, it's got iodine in it. It's putting a little bit of iodine in every one of your cells, because every one of your cells love iodine. Okay, that's why they do. Okay, and iodine is one of the best detoxification agents there is, especially, okay, if you're swimming in chlorine and you're swimming in fluoride and all these different things. Then remember, iodine does go ahead and take the place of other ions that would, if iodine wasn't in your system, then those other ions would take the place and cause dysfunction to the thyroid. And a lot of people, remember, if you're on medication, you've got dysfunction. And why are you on medication? Have you looked into the problem of why? And the doctor's not going to tell you. You're going to have to do your own research, guys. The doctor, remember, he's got a big gut on him. Okay, the nutritionist, she or he's 50 pounds or 100 pounds overweight, and they're trying to help you with nutrition and only teach you what they've been told what is correct. Like eat a bunch of grains and pasta, okay? Eat all the standard American diet pyramid, okay? Ingest a ton of seed oils. Remember, seed oils are totally poisonous for your gut. If your gut doesn't hurt you, then God, or excuse me, then you're lucky as anybody could be. But in time, I guarantee you keep eating all these soy oils and canola oil, grapeseed oil. I don't care what kind of seed oil is, even avocado oil. These oils are ultra processed. They're picked from green fruit. Like, you think avocados are picked when they make the oil? Do you think they're picked mature? They're picked green and toxic. Go eat a green banana, or a green banana, green anything, and see what happens to you. They have to filter them. They have to cleanse. Anyways, it's a big mess. Seed oils cause a lot of damage to the gut. And if your gut is damaged, guys, then take a break from seed oils. Not for a month, 2 or 3, for about 6 months. It took me a couple of years for my stomach to become ironclad strong again from the damage that I did, from all the plant-based stuff that I did. And remember, I only had organic. We had Ultimate Superfoods and Earthshift products, okay? And we put it out all over, all over the world. Right, our superfood company, we had that going for 10 years. And a lot of these different compounds are very good for you in small amounts. But you do not have the gut of an herbivore. And if you think you do, then you chew that grass right here. And you see if you can get all your nutrition out of that grass. I dare you. Okay, they don't teach any of the doctors in school about parasitology, toxicology, okay, detoxification. They just don't. That's something you have to go ahead and learn as you get out of school, and or just as a regular person, just to be able to see that I'm going to have to either take care of myself right now, or I'm going to have to backpedal like a mofo, because once I get sick and once you feel like crap, you will go to the hospital and you will start the hamster wheel program. And the hamster wheel program is not to find out why your skin has a rash, why you have kidney stones, why you have IBS, why you have any other types of ailments. It's to be able to give you a magic potion, pharmakia. And they do work for certain things on short periods of time when you take them. Anybody who's taking anything consistently, guys, you're addicted to that stuff. Your body's addicted to it. It's a chemical that you've terrain modified your system to. Like if you go on Xanax for a month and you take the prescribed amount that doctors go ahead and whip that stuff out like candy, okay? Valium they used to do. They got all those housewives, including my mom back in the 70s, hooked on bloody Valium. Then you had Ambien, right? I can't sleep. Well, could it be possible you have heavy metal poisoning? Could it be possible that maybe you need to shut off all your wireless systems, including anything that's a smart tech? Just shut it off, okay? And I'm talking about either pull the plug, don't just shut it off, pull the plug, or go ahead and get yourself one of those, the fuse boxes, right? The little, I forget what they call them, the surge protectors, and just shut it off at the button. Okay, like I do with my smart television. I can't get a regular television, so I had to bow down and get a smart tech. But when I shut it off at the surge protector. I don't want that thing zzz all night long, waiting for me to go ahead and do what? Anyways, I had insomnia for 10 years only because I was sleeping against the bloody wall next to a huge electrical magnetic field. And you should learn about that. About maybe putting the head of your bed in a spot, or sleeping opposite where your head, where it used to be when you slept, next to the wall. Maybe your head goes down towards the end of the bed just because you're away from the wall electrical systems. If you live in an apartment, guys, you probably have a huge 220 running right down the center of your apartment. Then you can test that with a tri-field meter. Anyways, watch a lot of the videos that we have on, again, like learning of, let's see, what else have I not talked about? There's so many different departments. I mean, the tips of the days. I mean, there's a lot of booby traps in the system. A lot. Okay? Parasites. Look into them. If you think you don't have them, again, you're just being ignorant. Everybody has parasites. How many do you have? How many colonizations do you have? And could it be possible that the big C is and or microparasites and or visual ones called macroparasites? Watch our videos on that, like the Rethinking Reality I did on, there's a trilogy there, parasites and toxicity, parasites and sickness, I think, and parasites and demons. There's a lot of them I've done on parasites, just so you could go ahead and see these little archons that drink blood, some of the species. They poop in the body, and you can get them by not eating anything that you think of. Oh, you got them from eating meat. You got them from walking on bare feet in the grass. How about that? The hookworms came right in through your skin. You got them because you have animals and pets. Okay? Watch another video. When's the last time you've been wormed? They're just questions. And everything's an experiment, guys. Everything is. Everything I do all day long, I'm going to experiment in the gym right now, and I experiment a little bit different each time, and I get better and better and better at my experiment. You always have to be cautious trying anything new, just because, especially if you're taking any pharmaceuticals or doing anything, guys, Remember, there's a lot of drug interactions with a lot of different types of antiparasitic meds and different things, so you better be careful. Before anybody's taking any antiparasitic drugs or doing any of that, there's no easy way out. You need to clean up your intestinal tract. You need to clean up your diet. You need to start, like I said, clean your skin. Start detoxing as much as you can first before you start using very effective medications. And some of the medications are not good for you. They're not good for your fertility. They're not good for you in general. And there's a reason why they gave away a lot of these antiparasitic meds. Billions of doses every year for a reason. But anyways, that's another story. But there's a lot of stuff that you could do. Beginners, I mean, when's the last time you cleaned your ears? You need to do that once a month. I like to do that once a month. Okay? Learn the protocols. When's the last time you cleaned your sinuses? Okay? You live in any place that's dusty. You're sweeping the garage and you're getting all these pieces of rat poop and urine and everything else and small little dead pieces of whatever, mosquitoes, whatever. You're using the blower, dust. You're working in your house and you've got all this polyester in the carpet. You've got all these different microfibers made out of plastic flying in the air all over the place, and they get stuck in your sinuses. When's the last time you cleaned the frontal, the upper, the middle, and the lower sinuses using the nasal neti pot? Watch those videos. Thyroid protocols. A lot of people are low on low on iodine. A lot of people. A lot of people are very low on magnesium minerals inside the body. Remember, this is your electrical terrain. This is your ethereal terrain. This is what makes you so your electrical is salt. Watch how to make Soleil salt. And I'd only use Himalayan salt only because it comes from a closed mine. A lot of the other salts, remember, they're open to the world of all the aerosol spraying, all the pollution from different countries, smelting things, all the fires. Remember, a house burns up, it's plastic in there, there's all these, everything that gets blown into the air and it comes down onto the ground. The only clean salt there is a closed mine salt. That's what I know. And maybe Celtic salt used to be better than Himalayan because of it has a couple more elements of this or that, but it's a clean salt, Himalayan salt, because it comes from a closed mine. And there are reports of people taking regular salt and putting a pink dye in it, so, just be careful. We used to bring in about a container a month of Himalayan salt from a guy named Balu over in Pakistan, in the Himalayas up there. Him and his family, they used to hand mine it and stone grind it. Okay, so, anyways, lots to do today, and when I come to town, I only got about 2 hours here before I start feeling like right now I'm all washed out. Is because I'm not used to all the microwaves in the air. I'm not used to all the wireless technology that's flying bloody where everywhere. You can't see it, I can hear it. It's an electronic parasite if you can hear it. I only hear it on my left side. When I come here, it's massive, and then there's like an electronic harmony of behind that in a low pitch. A lot of noise, man. So, grounding yourself, okay? All the different videos I've done on, just yoga, stretching out your joints. I mean, learning how to balance the brain hemispheres. Remember, 2 brains is your best self. And if you only use half a brain all day long, your right hand, your right eye, because that's your dominant eye most likely, then you're just using half brain. You're only using half your power. So there's ways to be able to balance the brain, and there's ways to be able to see. Like I can spin a ball on my finger with my eyes closed. I don't just see the ball, I feel it. This is the sixth sense. When you take all your senses, you put them together, and you expand that sense into one. Do a handstand or a headstand with my eyes closed, bending up there for 5 minutes with my eyes closed. You can't even do it with your eyes open. Remember, this is balancing the brain hemispheres, and if you only got half a brain activated, you're not doing it. You're not spinning the ball even on your finger. Forget about closing your eyes and keeping it going for a couple of minutes. Okay? To be able to use a staff, hand staff, and be able to close your eyes and do it and feel the motions without smacking yourself and breaking your nose or hurting your knee. Use the nunchucks with your eyes closed. Feel the motion. Feel it. Anyways, that's enough. I'm sweating in the car here. It's about 82 here, probably 84. Nice real clouds up there, though. Check those out. Those are beauties, man. Real ones. Okay, so again, terrain modification for dummies, just start with something. Terrain modification for beginners, just start with something. Changing your diet is more challenging, is because there's a lot of controversy and a lot of people trying to sell you a lot of crap you don't need. And that's including the big, huge box stores. Okay, with all the MSG, vegetable hydrolyzed protein, all the words that you don't know what MSG is, but if you look up alternative names for MSG, remember, if you're eating things from a package, you're eating usually ultra-processed foods. Even if you're eating peanuts. The peanuts, if you read the label, it should say peanuts and salt and dry roasted, heat roasted. Oh, they mix them in soy oil. They mix them with all these different chemicals, DHA, all the crap. Anyways, read your labels. If you can't see good, bring your glasses to the store and don't buy anything unless you read the label. And if you don't know what it is, then why would you eat it? Remember, chemicals, they are not easily excreted by the body. And there are certain chemicals that make you eat that whole bag of chips, is because there's certain things they put on that food to make you not only come back to buy more, that's the recycling center, all the bottles, not only to buy more again, but to eat the whole bloody bag. So try to go ahead and remember, exercise is super important. It is. And if you want to re-nourish yourself, then grass-fed beef and organic animal products don't have any seed oils at all if your stomach has any problems. If you are overweight, yeah, you can do vegan, schmegan, you can do vegetarian, you can do what I was showing people, plant-based with eggs, because you at least need some of the amino acids from the eggs. If not, you'll fall apart quick. I was eating cheese and eggs, and I still fell apart because I worked out all the time. I was pushing my body as an extreme athlete, and that diet won't do it. You just wear yourself out. And I'm just recuperating now, and it's taken me like 4 years so far since I stopped. So watch it. And some of you guys, hey, keep on going. Remember, it's all an experiment. If you think you can be an herbivore even though you don't have a fermented chamber and the same gut as a cow or a pig, or a goat, okay, or any other, herbivore like a deer, they chew their cud. They have special enzymes in their gut and certain chambers, more chambers. Okay, your fermented chambers, your appendix, this little tiny thing this big doesn't even work. Okay, so your best, most fuel efficient food for re-nourishing yourself and getting an anabolic diet to grow yourself is eating grass-fed meat and organs. Watch our videos and recipes. We've got a lot of recipes too if you want to make a variety of different dishes. Keto dishes, smoothies up in the yin yang, how to make cacao, mind-altering and heart-opening up cacao, learning about cacao, all these different pieces. Anyways, enjoy the website. Earther Academy is only $10 a month. Cancel anytime. We put all these videos on there because everything's an experiment and you can't tell anybody anything in the world anymore. You can't even tell anybody, okay, I drink a gallon of water a day, but I can't tell you to do that. Okay, it's just the way it is. We're all our own experiment. Every day is another day that we learn and grow from. And if you've gone down the wrong path, then you can reverse your boat. You're addicted to drugs, whatever it is, then wean yourself off. Remember, it's not doing you any good. You already know that. And you just can't break, not the habit, but the demonic possession of you having to have another chocolate chip and you're hungry for sugar all the time. Because remember, yeast, mold, fungus, candida are voracious eaters. They need to eat every 2 hours. That's why you're eating a bunch of sugary crap and processed foods, because that's what they eat. And they're calling, since they live inside you, they're calling you to feed. And you do feed them, and look what happens to you. You gain weight, a lot of weight. And then after a while, you don't even want to lose the weight because you're okay with it, because you know it's such a big problem, but the parasites are also controlling your mind, and they don't want you to. So it's mind over body. And if you're spirit connected, remember, take the power of spirit and know that critical thinking is what you need to be able to push the body away from what it's telling you it needs. Because just because it's telling you it needs it doesn't mean you need it. Okay? And if you can't, like I said, even fast for a day, remember, your body's got you. I know if you're overweight, I could fast you for 30 days and you won't die. You'll feel like you're going to die. And if you're really skinny and malnourished already, you know, you're just skinny, you're a 100-pound female or a 130-pound guy, you got a week of fasting without water and you'll still live easy before you start having major problems. And if you got a little muscle and you're 10 pounds overweight, you can go 2 weeks, piece of cake. Okay, I know for a fact. I've seen it hundreds of times. And when you're overweight, like maybe 50 or 100 pounds, but after the 7th or 10th day, you start throwing up because you have colony collapse, because a lot of things inside you are not getting fed that sugar and crap. And the parasites do eat each other because it's cannibalism inside the body. One set of parasites die and the other ones go ahead and clean up and eat it and become their food. Sounds like a horror film, right? Anyways, okay guys, I'm going to work out. Aloha, and we will see you on the next video. Okay, again. Beautiful day. UFC. There we go.